Hi people, what's up? क्या चल रहा है? तो first of all, happy belated Holi to those celebrating. And I find this meme very funny, kind of, कि what rest of the Middle East is doing and what we as Indians are doing. But हमें क्या? अपन तो शुरू करते हैं with next chapter. Again, we are here on Saturday. For the people who have seen the last video, they should know the reason as well. But yes, let's get started. So this is about designing a web crawler. So when we talk about the term web crawler, what does a web crawler mean? So when we use the word crawl, does that hint towards spiders? Yes, something very close to it. So web crawler in layman terms is a kind of spider. So what it is used for? It is used by search engines in order to find the content that is there on a web. So when I talk about a content on web, the content can be a web page, a content can be a PDF, a content can be an image. So what essentially happen is web crawler starts with a some set of URLs. Those URLs are known as seed URLs. And what essentially happens is it crawls them, find other reference URLs and find the content related to those reference URLs. So like for example, see here, there's a site a.com, there's a site b.com, there's a site c.com. Then further when you traverse a.com, it has further 3 links: lime.com, peach.com, mango.com. So it's more like you went to a.com, then you went to lime.com, from lime.com you went to somewhere else, and so on, which we'll discuss what is the right way to go ahead. But this is what we mean by web crawling. Someone might ask, I get it, what a web crawler is doing, but why would somebody need it? So the most important use case is the pages needs to be indexed. So essentially when you search for a thing, for example, I search would World War III happens. So a page related to how to treat a knee pain would not be related to this, right? So the pages need to be indexed, and for that you need to crawl the pages. So that is the first point. Search engine indexes use that. Second is web archives. So you would see that many national libraries run crawlers in order to store the content that is there on websites, important information that is there on websites. And other thing is more like, web mining. So there are multiple companies that deals with trade and stock. So they essentially use these crawlers to understand about what is happening in company, as in they crawl their web pages, find what are the key learnings. So essentially everything that involves knowing about what a content on a particular page is would need a crawler for that. So now this crawler at first might seem very simple. You need to go to a URL, find all the URLs that are on that URL and keep on proceeding. But right now we are not thinking about the scale we are working with. So whenever this question gets asked, one of the most important thing is that you understand what the requirements are. When I say requirements, what we mean is essentially how many web pages would be downloaded in a day, or would they need to be stored, and some questions like that. So something more like you might ask some question like what is the main purpose, and you might get to know, okay, that's for search indexing. How many web pages would be collected per month? You might get 1 billion. And do I need to download just HTML content, or images can come on my way? You may get answer that HTML only. For how much time I need to store the crawl results? You may get a particular time period, here 5 years. So even when you're asked to design a very straightforward product like web crawler, it's very important that you discuss with your interviewer what set of assumptions you both are agreeing upon, because there might be difference in certain set of basic assumption as well. So after you are done with this, there are some qualities of web crawler that you conclude with. Scalability. Since the web is very large, and then there are billions of web pages you are find out there, so even when you do parallelization, it would be extremely difficult. So it has to be a scalable system. Then second is robustness. There might be the case that you encounter a URL that acts as a trap for you, as in when you visit that URL, the site crashes and everything. So your system should be robust that it is able to skip that URL. Other is politeness. I can't query Wikipedia 10,000 times per second just because all the links that I'm encountering are from Wikipedia, because that's very impolite, right? So it's more like, for example, I've got thousands of questions and I know a single person who knows answer to all those questions. It's okay to bother him, but bothering him so much in a very short interval is not okay. So that's quite analogous to what we mean here by politeness. And the next is extensibility. For example, since as per the discussion, you get to know that HTML parsing is the main motive, but it might be that you are asked that we might need to index images as well. So for that as well, you need not change the whole system. Your system should be flexible enough to support any additions. So 4 things that we deal with here are robust, polite, extensible, and scalable. So in chapter 2, I don't remember exactly, I guess chapter 2, we discussed with what is a back of envelope estimation, that given certain numbers, so can I calculate the space, can I calculate the query per second? Since you were told that 1 billion web pages would be downloaded per month. From here you can estimate how many web pages would be downloaded per second. So that would be 1 million by 30 days into 24 hours into 60 minutes into 60 seconds. This account to somehow 400 pages per second needs to be downloaded, and peak QPS would be twice of it. That is 800 query per second would be there. Then QPS you are clear about how many download requests might be there, so it's like 800. The other question one might ask, what is the storage requirement? So एवरेज वेब पेज का साइज इज 500K, ठीक है. तो 1 बिलियन पेजेस पर मंथ वुड टेक 1 बिलियन इंटू 500K पर मंथ. यू नीड टू स्टोर इट फॉर 5 years, तो 5 इंटू 12 months per year. सो दैट काउंट्स टू 30 PB. भाई मेरे को भी प्रोनाउंस करनी आती है PB क्या, बट बहुत बड़ी यूनिट है. तो दैट्स काइंड ऑफ बैक ऑफ एनवेलप एस्टिमेशन, जहाँ पर तुम्हें पता लगेगा दिस इज द क्वेरी पर सेकंड माई सिस्टम वुड बी गेटिंग, एंड दिस इज द स्टोरेज रिक्वायरमेंट दैट माई सिस्टम वुड बी डिमांडिंग विद टाइम. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं कि हाई लेवल डिज़ाइन क्या है इसका. सो आई हैव पुट सम नंबर्स हियर जस्ट सो दैट इट्स ईजी टू नेविगेट. ज़्यादा कुछ किया नहीं है, एरो से वैसे पता लग रहा था, बट ठीक है. तो वी स्टार्ट विद द सीड URL. वट इज अ सीड URL? सीड URL इज अ स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट वेयर यू स्टार्ट विद. ठीक है. For example, if you want to crawl all web pages from a university website, so what you can start with is, for example, I want to crawl all pages from IIIT Hyderabad. So a very basic seed URL will be, I'll navigate to IIIT Hyderabad ka base site, no predicate after it, more like that. And then I can query all the pages that follows it, more like that. So we start with the seed URL, or we start with seed URLs. This can be single set or it can have multiple entries.
Sales is now live.
Ignore guys, it was just a call from Flipkart people asking कि भाई उनका सेल लाइव हो गया, ले लेना तुम भी कुछ. फिर उसके बाद हमारे पास आता है URL Frontier. सो व्हाट URL Frontier is, तो now you navigated, you started with the seed URL. Now this is not the only URL you need to navigate. This URL, seed URL, will guide you to further URLs. For example, a.com can have further sites BCD. So you need to store these BCD somewhere, क्योंकि B further would have B1, B2, B3, right? So the component that stores it is URL Frontier. ठीक है, पढ़ भी लेते हैं हम. Component that store URLs to be downloaded is called URL Frontier. फिर उसके बाद what URL Frontier does is it calls HTML downloader. So now basically you have a URL. So इस URL का you want the HTML content. So you call the HTML downloader, which further has to call a DNS resolver. Because simply using a.com, you can't get the content of the page. You have to translate this a.com into a IP address, and then using that IP address, you will be able to fetch the content. Okay, so अभी भी क्या हुआ है, you have a seed URL. Seed URL से you get more URLs. More URLs are stored in URL Frontier. Once you have a URL in URL Frontier, you call HTML downloader. HTML downloader सीधा a.com से download नहीं कर सकता. It has to query a DNS resolver that provides you with the IP address. ठीक है. Now that you have IP address, you need something that parses the content, right? Because why is content parser important? For example, a.com का तुम्हें IP address मिल गया, तुमने उसका HTML content fetch कर लिया. अब content में there can be further URLs. How would you know कि content has URL? So you need to parse the content. So that is where a content parser comes in. ठीक है. अब a research found that almost 29% of the pages में duplicate content है. तो it might be that कि तुमने same content already encounter कर लिया हो via another link. So we maintain a something, अभी के लिए let in a very layman term, let us say कुछ storage type जिसमें हमें content scene पता लगेगा कि ये content already seen है. So each content of a web page we hash it, we get a hash value, we store these hash values instead. पूरा हम content तो store नहीं कर सकते. A very naive way is कि you have a content earlier, you get a new content, you compare character by character. But that's obviously not the optimal approach. For each content, you get a hash value. You keep on storing the hash values and you kinda compare the hash value. Now, this is content scene. तो अब हम यहाँ तक पहुँच गए हैं. सीड URLs था, URL Frontier में URLs गई, उसने HTML डाउनलोडर को कॉल किया, उसने IP एड्रेस के लिए DNS रिजॉल्वर को कॉल किया, यहाँ से आपको कंटेंट मिला. कंटेंट में आपने चेक किया कि इज द कंटेंट ऑलरेडी सीन, इसके लिए यू हैव टू स्टोर इट समवेयर. फिर यू गेट अ लिंक एक्सट्रैक्टर, क्योंकि तुम्हें फर्दर URLs चाहिए. कहाँ गया लिंक एक्सट्रैक्टर भाई? URL एक्सट्रैक्टर कि ये लिंक्स निकालते हैं HTML पेजेस से. फिर उसके बाद इसके बाद हम एक URL फिल्टर भी लगाते हैं. URL फिल्टर क्यों जरूरी है? देयर माइट बी सम साइट्स दैट आर काइंड ऑफ ब्लैक लिस्टेड, क्योंकि तुम्हें हर पे क्वेरी नहीं करना है, तो इसके लिए यू हैव अ URL फिल्टर. एंड अगेन सेइंग इट माइट बी द केस कि तुमने रिपीटेड URLs हो उस पेज में, दैट यू हैव ऑलरेडी पास दैट URL, क्रॉल दैट URL. तो इस केस में यू विल हैव समथिंग लाइक URL सीन एज वेल. सो देयर आर टू थिंग्स राइट नाउ, URL सीन ऑन कॉन्टेंट सीन. ये दोनों डिफरेंट है. यू गेट इट राइट. Once you get a final set of URLs, तुम दोबारा उसे URL Frontier पे भेज देते हो, and this loop keeps on going on, ultimately you are done with the parsing. ठीक है. ये था मेजर एक बार। ओ वाह, इन्होंने नंबर्स दे रखे थे ही। तो हाँ गाइस, मैंने नंबर्स पहले लिख दिए थे जस्ट टू लेट यू नो, मैंने कोई चीटिंग नहीं किया। तो इधर इन्होंने बहुत एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में सब बताया। यू ऐड द सीड यूआरएल टू यूआरएल फ्रंटियर, HTML डाउनलोडर fetches a list of URL from URL frontier, फिर it gets IP address from the DNS resolver, then content parser parses the HTML content, फिर उसके बाद it checks if the HTML page is already in the storage. If it is in the storage, it means that the same content but with a different URL has already been seen, so you need to discard it. If not, you store the hash value into the storage. फिर you extract the link from that HTML page. They goes to URL filter to check if there are some blacklisted URLs. Then you maintain a URL scene component so that you don't traverse the same URL again and again. So there are two different things: same URL traversing again and again, different URLs having same content. This handles and this handles. फिर उसके बाद if the URL has not been processed before, it is added to the URL. Now that we have idea of what a high level web crawler looks like, what all the 10-11 components were, let us deep dive into the design to see how actually things work. So when we say crawling a page, then you might have studied this already. So there are two type of traversal algorithms, DFS or BFS. So DFS, you keep on going down, while in BFS you first go like this and then this. So you follow level wise. So obviously DFS won't be preferred because this can go very long and you might end up missing out on a very good set of URLs. So we'll prefer BFS here. So that's what they have written, that DFS is usually not a good choice because it can be very deep. So इसलिए we prefer BFS. But BFS also has issues because when you do BFS, you are kinda querying a same host multiple times. And this is basically what politeness come here. This is kinda impolite. So, and the other issue here is that when you do BFS, you're kinda going level wise. You don't care which URL are you crawling. So you don't care about priority. It might be that some URLs might be of higher priority than the URL you are crawling right now. So these are the two things that need to be taken care of. So that's where a URL frontier comes in, because URL frontier was something that stored the set of URLs and send them to the HTML parser. So it is something that will filter which URLs that it should send to HTML parser, and it would take care of politeness and अपना prioritization. ठीक है? So basically, general idea of enforcing politeness is that from a same host, one should download one URL at a time rather than poking that host multiple times for multiple URLs. So इसके लिए what you essentially do is you make a mapping which all URLs belong to which host. And then for all the URLs that belong to the same host, you put them in same queue. So now there are multiple queues that you have out here, B1, B2, B1, B2, so on till Bn, where B1 would have all the URLs that belong to the same host, say host 1. B2 have all the URLs that belong to the same host, say host 2. Okay? And then there would be something like queue selector. So based upon, as in it will select which queue a thread needs to work on, and then it will query URLs from that queue one by one. तो इधर ये लिखा है कि to FIFO queues B1 to Bn, each queue would contain URLs from the same host. For example, wikipedia.com की B1 में है, apple.com की B2 में है. And then there would be a queue selection logic that would be done by queue selector, because इसमें भी it might be that you need to prioritize Apple. So there has to be a queue selector, and then there are worker threads that are assigned to a queue, and then they download it from there one by one. So this way you are not, multiple threads are not poking the same host, because at a time only one queue will be selected, right? And a thread would query that host one by one. ऐसा. फिर उसके बाद priority. Now that you have multiple queues, each belonging to the same host, not all of them would share the same priority, right? A website containing a word Apple and Apple का official website, both would have different priorities, and obviously we'll prioritize Apple का official website. So that is where a queue selector comes in. That is where a prioritizer come in. So this is how it looks like. It takes a set of URL. Then each queue would have a signed priority. What a queue selector will do is it will select a queue, but it will be more biased towards selecting higher priority queues. So it will keep on selecting queues one by one, and then most probably will be selecting queues that is having higher priority, और वो queue further thread के पास जाती है. तो ऐसे different time पे different queue select होती हैं, तो एक host multiple बार trigger नहीं होता है, like in a short duration, और priority का भी ध्यान रखा जाता है. So this is how the overall structure looks like. आप एक input URL आई, आपने host के basis पे से filter कर दिया, फिर उसके बाद नहीं, सबसे पहले I guess priority So this is how it finally looks like. The initially आपके पास set of URLs होती हैं, इसमें some of them needs to be prioritized, so they get into a prioritization engine. फिर उससे it selects a queue जिसको तुम्हें priority देनी है, and once you have that, you map them to the different hosts that they belong to, and at a time a thread selects one of the queue that it need to deal with. So in a black box you can see this complete part and this complete part. This select the priority URLs and these priority URLs go here and then they form the hosts here. That's all. ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद another important thing is freshness. So given that web pages are basically updated frequently, many web pages are updated frequently, they are added, they get deleted. So a crawler must periodically recrawl the page so that जो data है वो हमेशा fresh रहे. और इसमें भी वही चीज़ है कि अगर कोई priority URL है, it crawl it first rather than some other URL. So one might ask, URL Frontier would have so many URLs, right? So where does it store it? Storing everything on disk is very time consuming. It will induce a lot of latency. So we have buffers in place. So majority of the data is on the disk, but you have buffers that manage the cost of reading from the disk. फिर another component to deep dive is basically HTML downloader, because not every URL you can crawl, not every URL you have a permission to crawl. So each URL, each web has a robot.txt करके that has a list of URLs that are disallowed. So before crawling a URL, it has to check if that URL is present in robot.txt. It would not crawl that. बाकी it is performance optimization कि once URL Frontier gives you the URL, it is distributed into multiple server and which then each handle this. फिर उसके बाद we also introduce a concept of DNS resolver कि only from a.com तुम इसका HTML content नहीं निकाल सकते. You would need IP address and this has some sort of latency. The DNS resolver have some sort of latency. तो इसके लिए भी हम एक cache maintain करते हैं from the website name to its IP address. And other thing is there कि extensible होना चाहिए. For example, I asked you to build a web crawler that crawls for the HTML content, and the other day I introduced a concept of crawling images also, that one should also count into images. So your complete system should not change. Only it has to be addition to your system more like that. और फिर उसके बाद there are some things to take in mind कि redundant content, इसके लिए we had content scene वाला thing. फिर उसके बाद there are spider traps. Why they are there? Because मतलब मज़े आते हैं लोगों को. तो it might be that एक site है a.com/b, a.com/b/a उसके अंदर है, फिर उसके बाद फर्दर अंदर है /b एंड सो ऑन. यू कीप इनटू इन्फिनाइट लूप, लूपिंग एंड लूपिंग. तो इसके लिए बेसिकली क्या होता है, यू मेंटेन अ लेंथ ऑफ यूआरएल कि इसके बाद आई वोंट गो, और मे बी यूल गेट अ काउंट कि इस यूआरएल से फर्दर आई हैव डन एक्स नंबर ऑफ क्रॉल्स एंड एक्स एक्सीड्स अ थ्रेशोल्ड, यू डोंट fall into that trap ऐसा. And then there is a lot of data noise that some of the content you will see, they just have advertisements, no particular value. So in your complete design, you introduce how do I say, processing for this as well, where you know what is the redundant content you need not store, or what URL only doesn't make sense, and so on. तो ओवरऑल रैपअप करते हैं. हमने क्या क्या पढ़ा कि वेब क्रॉलर क्यों चाहिए, क्योंकि हमें सर्च पेज इंडेक्सिंग करनी होती है. फिर उसके बाद हमने उसका पूरा सिस्टम पढ़ा कि एग्जैक्टली होता क्या है, व्हाट इज़ द विच ऑल कॉम्पोनेंट्स आर इन्वॉल्व इन, ज़्यादा ऊपर चले गए, विच ऑल कॉम्पोनेंट्स आर इन्वॉल्व इन, ये वाला पूरा सीन, एंड कि व्हाट इज़ द डिफरेंस बिटवीन डिफरेंट कॉम्पोनेंट्स एंड व्हाई दे आर नीडेड, एंड इट हैज़ टू बी एक्सटेंसिबल, इट हैज़ टू बी स्केलेबल एंड blah 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 blah. I guess this was all I understood about this chapter. बाकी if there is something else you want to add on, want to discuss, comment section होता है, उसमें डालो. Bye bye.